So France is a melting pot, which means people do recognize that people are coming from different cultures, different sets of etiquette. And yet France also appreciates, if you're coming to my country, enjoy my culture, enjoy my etiquette. And you don't have to assert the fact of, I am not French, unless you are French, but rather appreciating, it's good to appreciate their culture and their etiquette. Just little things like you put your hands above the table at all times. In America, if you're not actively eating, you always put your hands below the table, and that's what's polite. But in France, you always keep your hands on the table. And sometimes you'll like rest your hands right on the wrist, right there on the table. When you are meeting people, you don't have to be as loud. It's something that you learn, that your ears get better the longer you live in France, because people talk more quietly. They aren't so loud, so brash as Americans are. And I know there are other countries that are even louder than us. I was companions with a newer missionary, and I had told him, okay, you don't have to be so loud. It's kind of startling how loud you are on the street. Maybe when you say hello, say it a little more softly. And I promised him, okay, if you say bonjour and you say it nice and softly, then they will still hear you. The French have super ears. That's like their superpower. And the next day we were walking across this bridge over a train station, and this girl was walking the other direction, and he said to her bonjour, and she responded bonjour, and just kind of kept walking. And once she was out of, or at least what he thought was out of earshot, he turned to me and said, "It worked! They heard me!" And I said, "Yeah, you can even go half that volume still." So the French have super ears, and just being willing to adapt and embrace those little parts of culture is so useful, because you're learning what it is to be French. In the Bible, Paul talks about, when I'm with the Jews, I am as a Jew. When I'm with the Gentiles, I am as the Gentiles. And adopting that kind of attitude in ourselves and saying, when I'm in France, I become French. And doing that helps you not just connect with them so you don't offend them, but it helps you understand who they are and how they act. And doing all of this helps you connect with them so much better. And when you connect to people, they're so much more likely to accept your message. I remember hearing once a story where, I don't remember where it happened, it wasn't in my mission, but some missionaries were in a rural country and they were going up and down mountains, and they knocked on a woman's door, and she let them in because they had polished shoes. And I was hearing this story, and one of the missionaries who was listening to the story as well said, "Well, that's stupid. Like, polished shoes don't matter." Like, she almost indicating she didn't deserve the truth, because her priority was whether your shoes are polished or not. But in my mind, there are very few people who will be offended by you trying to present yourself well. And the same thing with the French, who really appreciate it when you dress well, when you wear clothes that are clearly French and not American. So no one's going to be offended if you try to dress well, but some people may reject you just because you don't seem French enough. And to me, yes, it's pride that someone would do that. I don't think the majority of people would do that. But who's to say that someone who's prideful doesn't deserve the gospel as much as someone who is humble? Just because one is more likely to accept the gospel under any circumstances doesn't make their value as a soul greater than another's. One time I was in a ward with multiple missionaries, and there was one member that a lot of the missionaries didn't exactly like. She was very wealthy and very classy, and was kind of showy. She liked to kind of put on a show and have fun. And some of the missionaries felt like she wasn't as real, that she wasn't as sincere, because this was her way of being. In my mind, she deserves love. She deserves truth just as much as anyone else. And I think that so often we say, oh, don't judge anyone. And in the process, we then turn around and judge people who judge others. Where really, when it comes down to it, we're all brothers and sisters. Kind of the slogan or motto of France is brotherhood, equality, and liberty. And I think that brotherhood is something that we can really adopt more and understand that people are coming from different perspectives. Everyone has different faults. And just because someone has a fault that you disagree with, whether it be pride, or whether it be sloppiness, or whether it be a bad temper, or whether it be someone who won't stand up for themselves, a lot of times we kind of defend the people who have our similar faults and then totally ignore the people who have faults that we see as greater. Whereas really, it's all about brotherhood. So I think embracing both the nuance of people who are counter their own culture, as well as embracing people, trying to embrace the culture ourselves, trying to connect with everyone